Today I am reading Space Life Chapter 1. The year is 3045. Humanity had started branching out into the universe in 2265 after they finally realized they could do so much more with peace than they ever could fighting over whatever they fought over up until that time. Greed and war are still around, of course. They likely always will be. But when people work together, they get more done. I just wish my parents could have taken my feelings into consideration. They know best, though, right? This is boring, staring out the window into the vacuum of space. Sure, I can see the distant stars, and they are pretty in their own way, but I could have seen them any night on the surface of my home planet Lilia. Why did my parents decide we needed to move planets now? I had friends on Lilia. Now I am alone except for my parents. They wouldn't even let me bring my four-eyed, six-legged space mutt Fruffers. They said he would be better off staying with my uncle on his farm. I tried telling them I would be better off there too, but of course they didn't listen. What's a 16-year-old girl supposed to do when her life is uprooted and ruined? Dramatic, I know. Put yourself in my shoes, though. I am stuck on a small ship with only my parents to talk to for the next 2 galactic years. I am so bored, I am imagining that someone is actually listening to me ramble here. With a groan, I pushed myself away from the window and flopped myself on the bed. My life wasn't exactly exciting on Lilia, but it was better than this. I must have fallen asleep at some point. The last thing I recall was staring at my bedroom ceiling and trying to think of something to do. Now I am wide awake with a head-splitting alarm going off. I bolt from my room in a panic. My dad grabbed me by the arm and led me to the escape pod. He is trying to say something, but the alarm is drowning out his words. With a firm shove, he gets me into the pod, shuts the door, and punches the eject button, causing my pod to launch. The ship was badly damaged. Meteors are danger for smaller vessels like ours. As I watched, 2 more pods were launched after mine, and then a large asteroid collided with the ship, breaking it into several small pieces. It was like watching my 3-year-old cousin crashing through a model I had built, but on a massive scale. For the first time, I was glad Fruffer stayed behind. Curling up into a ball, I wondered what was going to happen next and how this could possibly get worse. The pods had landed relatively near each other. My family was reunited with about 20 minutes after crashing into a forest on the closest planet's surface with only minor cuts and bruises. The equipment inside the pods had sustained minor damages, but that included the long-range communication device. No rescue was possible without that, which meant we were on our own unless we could get it repaired using things from the environment. Is everyone alright? My father, Drew, asked. Drew is a bit of a plain man with sandy brown hair and wears stuffy professor clothes. He worked as an advanced applied science officer, so he was super smart. We're all fine, just a bit shaken up, my mother, Sophie, answered. Sophie has long ash-brown hair and is super smart like Dad. No idea why I am not smart like them. They just keep telling me if I apply myself more, I would be. Where are we? I asked. We were 3 months into our 2-year voyage, and I wasn't exactly keeping up with our plotted course. An uncharted world. Probes were sent to this galaxy multiple times, but each time they were destroyed by space hazards. It was almost unnatural, but that, of course, isn't possible. There is always a reason for everything, Dad replied. We should find a place to set up camp, though. We can't stay out in the open like this. We don't know the sun cycles, the weather patterns, or the behavior of the local flora and fauna. With that, Dad picked up a sturdy-looking stick and started walking. Mom and I simply followed. We had no survival skills outside of shopping centers. Dad was a geek, but he loved the outdoors. After walking for about 10 minutes, Dad found a clearing for us to set up camp in. It was a good-sized clearing. Giant trees blocked the wind from all sides, and beautiful orange and yellow flowers were in full bloom climbing up the trunks. This will be base camp, Dad decided. I will retrieve what I can from the 3 pods. Sophie, can you try to find a water source? Shayla, I need you to gather some dry wood. You can probably find fallen sticks and branches on the ground, just like when you were younger. With a sigh of resignation, I set off to find the wood. I could have grumbled, complained, or argued. It wouldn't have done me any good, though. Any other time, my parents would have simply given me the look. You know the one. The one more word, see what happens look. We crashed on an uncharted planet with no way of getting help. My parents needed me to simply do as I was told without question, just to survive. It's not like the time I wanted to go to the mall and hang out with my friends. Lost in my thoughts, I gathered the wood as I was told. Are we ever going to get off this planet? A distinct snap brought me back to the present. Looking up, I see a figure dart off deeper into the woods. Shaken, I clutch the wood I have closer to my chest and run back to camp. Dad, Mom, I yell as I break free from the tree line. You're back sooner than expected, Mom said, looking up in surprise. Did you get the wood? I got some wood, but I saw someone out there, I exclaimed. My heart is pounding in my ears so hard from running. My heart is pounding in my ears from running so hard. Dad stopped tinkering with whatever he was doing and stared at me. Sweetheart, there can't be anyone out there. This is an uncharted world, and no one has been reported missing in this sector. Maybe it's a new civilization, I suggested. I know what I saw, and I couldn't believe they weren't listening to me. Is there like a rule or something that parents can't listen to their kids? Humanity is the only intellectual species that has been found to be in the universe. Mom immediately quoted the old pamphlets from 100 years ago that were still in use today. Nothing has been found in all the time since humanity left original Earth to even remotely suggest intelligent life anywhere in the universe. At least not on the level of humans. Ruffers is smart for a dog-like creature. We can't dismiss that you saw something entirely. We don't know what kind of animals are living on this world, Dad added. As your mother said, though, it's impossible that it was intelligent life. Pressing a button, 2 fully furnished tents erected themselves next to Dad. There, the tents are up. I know what I saw, I retorted angrily. It's been a trying day, Mom said, clearly trying to ease the tension. Why don't we just get some rest and in the morning we can try to find whatever you saw. I looked up at the darkening sky and agreed. I couldn't prove my parents wrong if they weren't able to see what was out there. With a grumble, I ate my portion of emergency ration kit food and went to bed. As I drifted off to sleep, I distantly wondered if this was all a nightmare that I was about to wake up from. So ends chapter 1. Thanks for watching.